on the edge of the Caucasian, on the edge of the Caucasus Mountains, but just in them. Amazing, I didn't know that. And you know they found Roman coins in Ecuador? Roman ships almost certainly sailed out into the Atlantic and probably came back. Again, common sense, it's too big an ocean. The Mediterranean, I only learned this a few months ago, the Mediterranean is the deepest ocean, it's a sea, but it's the deepest sea in the world. I always thought the Pacific was the deepest, because it's the biggest, but apparently the Mediterranean is deeper. Because of evolution and the Earth, millions of years ago the Earth was one landmass, and obviously when a meteorite, maybe 67 million years ago, when it hit what is today the Caribbean, it ripped Africa apart from Europe and created the Mediterranean Sea.
When?
Mr. Speaker,
can you be more specific?
Is connected to your message.
Yes.
How so?
Donald J. Trump.
Okay.
I like the man. And he respects China. That's sensible. But China is the economic power in Asia. Not necessarily in the world, but in Asia, yes. But they have internal problems, because all young Chinese want the Western lifestyle. TikTok, music, dancing, enjoying. The old commie Chinese, they don't like that. They don't like it.
Maybe it's not such a bad thing. Well, you know what's so good about Western?
Everything. You're here for a start. Our culture is based on the Roman Empire, but it is also based on the Catholic Church. Whether you like it or not, we were Catholic from about 1066 until the great Oliver Cromwell.
What about the Orthodox Church? They were Roman as well.
They are different.
Byzantine.
Yeah.
Is that not the true Rome?
Well, they see Rome as the Antichrist. Orthodox Serbs, Greeks, Russians, Armenians, Coptics from Palestine, Syria, Egypt, in a minority, but they see most of the Pope as an old man who should not be listened to.
Are they not the true
That
Romans?
schism actually completed in the year 869. And that's why the West is not geographical. The Japs decided to be like us 100 years ago. Japan, South Africa, the Commonwealth, the Caribbean, most of Black Africa actually is all pro-West.
No.
Democracy. Yes, it is.
I think you've missed a small point. That little thing about slavery and colonialism and genocide and massacres. So they didn't volunteer
the Muslims
to be like
murdered
you.
millions of Black Africans.
We're talking about
to create
you.
North African Allah.
Maybe they did. I'm talking about. I'm talking about.
They haven't admitted to it.
I'm talking about you.
They haven't admitted to it. That's why you sometimes see Black Africans playing football for the Saudi Arabian football team. Their ancestors were taken probably from Sudan or Chad by the Arabs
Mr. Speaker.
in chains to Arabia. And it wasn't called Saudi Kingdom in those times. It was just a desert.
Mr. Speaker, I think it's better we base this conversation on historical facts, right? So, the premise of your argument was that, you know, Africa, whatever, they want to be like.
Well, I'll tell you what Africa is, right? Africa is actually part of the North Coast. The Romans colonized and conquered about 25 miles from the African coast, from Egypt to Morocco. But they didn't go into the Sahara. And they called a part of it Africa. Libya was named by the Romans. Egypt was already Egypt, but the Romans called it Egypt. Libya by the Romans. Africa was roughly the area that is Tunisia. And then the rest was just in Latin.
But the British, French, German, Italians did it, colonized
not as well as the Romans.
violently through genocide for hundreds of years.
Well, not as long as the Romans.
No, we don't. That's not others. There's no.
But Africa in Roman times was just the coast of what is Tunisia.
So how many African countries speak Romanian?
Well, exactly.
That's the point
The
of
Catholic
making.
Church has done more damage to Black Africa. Unbelievable damage, yes.
I think you're.
Robert Mugabe was a Catholic. Complete fruitcake.
I'm struggling to have a well-informed, intelligent conversation.
And actually, Africans have only just given up dictatorships. From the colonial period, when Ghana was the first country to get colonial independence in 1962, even the nice Kenneth Kaunda, Zambia admitted that he was the dictator. Africans are realizing dictatorships do not work.
No, Egypt was the first country in Africa. No, it's a fact. Just someone Google. So
The Egyptians sold the country to our British Empire.
It was
You know that? In 1888, the Egyptian ruling class sold Egypt to our empire builders. We didn't need to take Egypt, we bought it. The Egyptians gave it to us. There was no bloodshed in 1880. Napoleon tried it in 1815 and committed genocide on behalf of the Roman Catholic Church in Palestine, which is being documented as genocide and ethnic cleansing by the Catholics of France. But our ancestors in the British Empire were simply offered Egypt because they saw that we were better rulers than the French.
Was offered by who?
Well, whoever was the Egyptian.
So there was no military. There was no military.
You also had in Sudan, you had an Arab fella who claimed he was the divine revelation of Allah. That's what the Lawrence Arabia thing was about. Yeah, he was a bastard, but he was our bastard. But you had the division of Islam in North Africa, Egypt, Sudan, Libya, after Muhammad, between Sunni and Shia, mainly, and all the splits of Islam, whether they're Salafist or Wahhabi.
So does the phrase...
So the empire did good by keeping them in line.
So does the phrase, the sun never set on the British Empire, does it have any sense at all? Does it make any sense to you?
I don't think it did. We just passed the warmongering to the Americans. Let them go into the Middle East and fuck it up.
So basically you're just in complete denial of historical facts.
No, the British Empire was a good empire. We left cricket, India, Pakistan, South Africa.
So you commit genocide, looting, and then you leave
Blacks
cricket,
are killing blacks all the time in Africa. What planet are you on? Black kills black all the time. South Africa, Sudan, Egypt, Chad.
Well, that's a simple...
It's a fact.
No, we're talking about...
You can't live in peace. You kill your own brothers.
Why is that?
Good question.
Because they don't know that democracy is better than a dictatorship. Mobutu killed thousands in the Congo in the 90s. Hundreds of thousands of Congolese were murdered by Mobutu's regime.
And who was behind that?
You idiots fight and kill each other.
No, have you heard of Patrice Lumumba?
You idiots fight and kill each other.
Listen,
now the Chinese are your new imperialists.
Mr. Speaker,
That man is so fucking dumb.
who are the
So
idiots?
stupid. You know, Africa's got all the wealth, but as soon as we give up our empire, and the French, and the Belgians, and the Portuguese,
Oh, the Belgians
then
that
you
killed
start
10
fighting
million.
each other.
The Belgians that killed 10 million Congolese.
That was unbelievable. That's true. Catholic.
You don't see anything wrong with that.
Of course I do. But stop living in the past.
No.
You have the highest levels of poverty, the highest levels of child infant mortality
Why
in the
is
heart
that?
of black
Why is
Africa.
that?
Because you're stupid, dumb Africans. And you know it.
Are you sure?
Are you okay? Did you take any medication?
I follow Donald Trump and America. The man is good. And he's telling black America, vote Trump. And he's right. He's right. Saudi Arabia is part of our Western Empire. Blessings on King Abdullah. It is. America sells loads of guns, tanks, missiles and aircraft to the Kingdom of Saudi. Saudis love Donald Trump. He went there a few years ago when he was president. They're all dancing away and there he was. Donald Trump arming the Kingdom of Saudi against Iran. May be necessary.
Are Saudi not Wahhabis?
Well, they are Wahhabis, but there are Wahhabis.
I see.
When we passed through Arabia, which our legions did, we saw nothing to take. We walked past Mecca and Medina, and all these Arabs were just bowing on the ground saying Allah Akbar. All we found was camels and donkeys shitting and pissing on the sand. There was nothing for us to take. Then we went to Nubia where we met the black man, and we respected the black man. He fights for his country. So we enrolled them into our army, Maximus. You see the film Gladiator? Septimus Severus was brown. Scipio Africanus was a black man like you, one of the greatest generals in the Roman army.
They're not all stupid then.
No.
Glad we cleared
There
that
was no
up.
racism in ancient Rome. We called these people like people with faces
Which
like
people?
the midnight sky.
Which people? These people? Which one? Which people? These
You. We find you
And they're all the
interesting.
same and look
We
the
won't
same.
kill you.
What
We
does
want
the
to
word
conquer you,
Ethiopian
take your
mean?
country, and then you'll fight for us against those wild people from Northern Europe.
Scots.
That's a good policy.
Yes, it is a good policy. It's the best policy. If you can't beat us, join us. It's the best policy. And you know it is.
No, I don't. It's just a futile exercise.
No, it isn't.
Having a discussion with
Killing and war are big business. Do you know we get the word salary from the Roman Empire?
Salt.
Because Roman soldiers were given a pouch of salt. When they conquered into a new land and killed an animal for food, to keep the animal fresh, especially in a hotter climate like North Africa or Southern Europe or Spain or Portugal or the Balkans or Palestine, put some salt on the meat and it will last longer. It's where we get the word salary from. Money. The Romans paid their soldiers with salt so they could march on a full stomach
And where
to
does
conquer.
where does the word racist like you come from?
I'm not a racist.
No, you are.
You're the
Everything-
racist.
everything you say-
You blacks are racist. You're living in a white country.
You make
You
my
are
point.
racist.
You make
You're
my
obsessed with race.
you-
We will colonize you and kill you again with Donald Trump. I have black friends and I see them as friends.
You just lost one.
Honestly, the black man is so fucked up. You're not black, you're stupid.
What else? Keep talking.
Talk about
There were dark-skinned people who served in our British Empire. Kenya, Uganda, Pakistan, in both world wars.
talk about.
But you know, during the First World War, when Churchill was alive, as a young man, probably in South Africa at the time as a journalist, our ancestors taking the great Indian conquest, which was a brilliant achievement, 55,000 of our soldiers controlled the whole continent of India, Muslim and Hindu. And when our ships sailed up the Persian Gulf to take on the Turks in 1917, we had to separate the Muslim Indians from the Hindu Indians because we thought they'd start fighting each other, which they probably would.
Wait. So is it hate, stupidity, or alcohol talking? I'm trying to understand what's
Good
going on.
wine from Spain.
You finish just.
Yeah.
This is
Good
what
wine
it is
from
talking.
Hispania.
It all makes sense now.
Romans fight with wine, then the sword.
That is why they lose the war.
No,
They lose the war,
Romans were clever. When we lost a war, we retreated. Not like the Americans. We spent 10 years planning the destruction of Carthage after Hannibal. We conquered Sicily, which is only a short distance from that corner of North Africa, and we leveled the whole of the Carthaginian Empire. We destroyed it. 10 years plan.
You lose all the war.
It's when we became Christian we got wrong. Bloody traitor Constantine in the 4th century creating this turn the other cheek religion.
Why the
Would you turn the other cheek if I stabbed you now? You'd fight and die for Donald Trump.
why Roman they have like soldiers? They have many like a woman.
No, because you're in a hot country, you want to stay cool.
No, they all
Italy's in the Mediterranean. You don't wear jeans or
No, because
practical.
Because that's why they lose
You're an
the
Arab.
war.
You're the enemy of Rome.
Where are the Romans now? Where are the Romans now?
We're here. I'm here.
What makes you a Roman?
My name is Nicholas Maximus Germanicus, commander of the legions from Leicester,
Racist.
loyal follower of the true emperor Donald J. Trump
Racist.
and a Labour government. Sir Keir Starmer.
That's what I'm trying to make.
Yes.
I say she's not this